Thank you for that. Yes, indeed, my name is Rikke, and I'm the founder of BorrowMyDoggy. BorrowMyDoggy, it's an online platform where we connect dog owners with dog borrowers for the borrowers to take care of dogs. And this can be for a walk, or for a weekend, or for a holiday. And I'm here to talk a little bit about how we got started with building the company based on passion and some of the learnings along the way. So it all started almost 5 years ago when I borrowed a very cute brown Labrador called Aston. And we spent the entire day in parks together. And I remember thinking, why are people spending so much money on dog walkers at kennels or leaving their dog home alone when I would love to take care of a dog for free? And I thought there should be a website where local dog borrowers would meet local people like me for borrowers to help take care of dogs, because this would benefit everyone. Dogs would get more love and attention. Owners would get some help from other dog lovers when they couldn't be with their own dogs. And then us borrowers would get the happy dog time. So after that, I told one of my friends about the idea. And he said, did you know that around 60 to 70% of startup companies go bust within the first 3 to 4 years? So he said, it might be that you want to borrow dogs, but why don't you go and actually verify and figure out if there is other people who have the same problem and the same needs as you do? So he recommended I join a startup weekend. And the whole concept with this weekend was to testing out ideas. So to give an example, say for instance 15 years ago that somebody wanted to test if people wanted to buy shoes online. So what you could do is obviously you could go to Italy, find a shoemaker, buy some shoes, set up a website, start promoting it, and then from there figuring out if the idea worked or not. The alternative thing you could do is you could go down to your local shoe shop. You can buy, say, 15 pairs of shoes, take photos of them, upload them on a website, and then if people click buy shoes, then you can always run down to your local shoe shop, buy that pair of shoes, and send them off. So actually, the whole concept is that you can test something with very little funding and in very little time without giving up your job or spending a lot of money on it. So I joined the startup weekend, and I pitched the idea, and in the room there was a lot of people who thought it was a good idea. So we started working on it, and we set up a landing page and started promoting it. And especially we hung up posters in Hampstead Heath, so in local parks from here. And then the most amazing thing happened, which was that 85 people signed up in the space of 3 days. And it was literally everything from an old man down in Cornwall who just had an operation and needed help with taking his dog for long walks. And there was also a student who now lived in a dorm in London, missing her dogs at home, and then she really wanted to spend time with one, so she signed up as a borrower. And then finally, there was a family with a little girl who was begging for a dog, but she was still scared of dogs. And the family didn't want to get one to maybe have to give it up, because that clearly wouldn't be fair to the dog. And when I read that story, I literally just started crying. And I thought, oh my God, not another little girl without a dog. Because I've always wanted a dog, and we were not able to have one, mainly because my mom is allergic to dogs. So I thought, here, there's a little girl, we can help her. So it became a very personal mission to begin with. And I must admit, I was really amazed over the passion that there was out there for the love of dogs, and also even wanting to borrow dogs. And I realized that the problem, it was that a lot of dog owners can't spend 24 hours a day with their dog because of family commitments or work or travel. And dog care is expensive. And there's also a lot of dog owners that go through life changes. This could be, for instance, just having had a baby and needing some help, or due to old age needing some help, or even going through some family changes. And then finally, lots of us borrowers, we can't have our own dog because of maybe the place where we live, or financials, or maybe not even having enough time to have our own dog. So after that, obviously we had the first members who had signed up, and we really wanted to match them up, but there wasn't any back end yet to do the matching. So what we did was we relaunched the website, and we put in additional terms and conditions and privacy policy and FAQs, so the various things that you would expect a website to have. And then after that, I literally started manually matching people. So what I did was I looked at the people we had signed up, we looked at a postcode and tried to figure out whether there was a boar and an owner within proximity of each other where we thought they would be a good match. And then as part of the getting to know each other process, like what I would do is most of our members, I would even go and visit them in person. I would have Skype calls with them. This also to verify all our members and really to understand what their problems were. And there was a lot of emails involved. I think whenever we had the process up and running, it was around 55 emails to get one manually matched. So it was quite time intensive. And then once we found a match, what we would do is we would introduce them and they would meet and greet, just like you would do with a dog sitter or babysitter for that matter. So it was really around people getting to know each other well locally. And also it's very important to emphasize at this part of BorrrowMyDoggy that there was absolutely no money involved. This was really about just finding a solution that would work well for our members and really just try to, to make them as happy as we possibly could. So the next thing that happened was I went out for a drink with one of my friends, and she asked me if BorrowMyDoggy was live yet. And I said, yes, indeed it is. And she said, can I sign up? And I went, but of course you can. And she went home, signed up, and then she hit that little tweet button, which is fantastic. So what happened was she has a lot of followers, and one of her followers is a person who writes for the Emerald Street. So she picked up the story, and then on the back of us having that story, I think we had about 1,000 people signed up in the space of 24 hours. So that made my manually matching a whole lot easier because obviously I had many more members on the platform. And then on the back of that, we got contacted by the BBC, the Daily Mail, and the Independent. Now with having over 1,000 members on our platform, clearly my manually matching though wasn't very feasible anymore. So what we did was we went out and started to do fundraising to get the website up and launched. And we launched the website in October 2013. So the way BorrowMyDoggy works is people sign up, they create a profile, and they will write a little bit about themselves or their dog, including upload very cute dog photos. And then from there, people go in and search for other members based first and foremost on location and then availability, and then they read each other's profiles. And then once you found someone you really like to meet up with, you message each other, and then you meet and you greet, just like you would do with a dog sitter or a babysitter. And the business model behind BorrowMyDoggy, it is an annual subscription, and what we do is we verify all of our members. Everyone has access to a 24/7 vet line, and everyone is covered by various degrees of insurance too. Another really key thing about building BorrowMyDoggy was really to find out the why behind it. So there's an excellent TED video by a guy called Simon Sinek, which is called How Great Leaders Inspire. And I highly recommend to watch it. And it really talks about finding out the why of the business. So why is it that you have started up what you have started as a company? And for me, I started thinking about the background of our company, and I thought, well, we have borrowers, and we have owners, and then we have dogs. And what do they all have in common? Well, owners sign up because they want their dog to be as happy as possible and get extra love and attention. From a borrower's perspective, it's about getting that happy dog time. And then finally with dogs, it's really about getting more love and attention and exercise. So everything everyone has in common is the happiness component. And then I thought, well, why am I doing this versus working on something else? And then my background is, my family, they are very much believers and we should all make a difference. And that includes they're very involved in Rotary works and local community works and even various different levels of charity work. And then myself, well, I used to do disaster relief work. I've mentored kids from troubled backgrounds. So I really strongly believe that we all should make a positive difference on other people's lives and dogs' lives. So the happiness was the component that we really wanted to shine across as part of BorrowMyDoggy. And once we had that, well, then it was all about getting it across in our member stories. So we love telling our member stories. And even when we have the lucky opportunity to, for instance, speak with the media, what we do first and foremost is just we literally introduce them to our members to tell how BorrowMyDoggy, or actually how local communities has made a difference on their lives. So it's very important to emphasize, while we are a platform, it's really all about our members. They're the ones matching up, they're the ones trusting each other, and they're the ones, spreading paw prints of happiness on each other's lives. To give you some examples of our lovely community, so the first one you have here is June, Marion, and Charlie. And Marion, she actually works at BorrowMyDoggy now. So Marion is a part-time student and obviously goes on holidays once in a while too. So June, her borrower, takes care of Charlie whenever Marion is, for instance, on holidays. And I think Marion now calls her honorary granny, which is really lovely. So they've built an incredible friendship. And the next one you have is Nick, Catherine, and Otto. So we have a lot of our members on our platform where on one part of the street you have a family who just had a baby and needing some extra help. And then on the other part of the street you have a family with a little son who's begging for a dog. And then one family ends up borrowing the other family's dog maybe a few days after school every single week. And then finally you have Annick, Stephanie, and Roxy. And where Annick, she went on her honeymoon and got married in Australia, and Stephanie ended up taking care of Roxy for 6 weeks. But obviously before that, Stephanie took care of Roxy, they had known each other for a long time. So Roxy knew Stephanie incredibly well. And then we spread all of our stories across social media too. So we love sharing them on whether it's Facebook or Instagram or Pinterest for that matter. And finally, to get the passion across too, it's important that this is a pack of people who are very, very passionate about making a difference to the lives of dogs and people. So in our office, obviously, we have lots of dogs, lots of our team members borrow dogs into the office, and as part of even the whole interview process, it's very important that we see that element of passion in the team. So finally, some key learnings across the way. I definitely learned that you can easily test an idea with very little budget, so easily test a passion with little budget. And also, I think it's really important to actually speak with customers or potential customers and finding out what their pain points are and really build something around their lives that will improve them. And finally, last point is to build something that you're really passionate about. And because obviously as an entrepreneur, there's lots of early mornings and late nights. So doing something that you can't wait to get out of bed in the morning is fantastic. And then finally, as was stated earlier too, the world is absolutely full of lovely people, whether it is in the startup world with helping you get something going, or likewise, our lovely community who has helped us by giving us so much feedback from day one and by building up BorrowMyDoggy. So again, I can really just recommend, reaching out, speaking with people, and do something that you're very passionate about. Thank you.